Today we're installing a TS Informant, TS part number 5280106. The TS Informant is a new product from TS Performance. What it is designed to do is it actually is going to be a standalone set of gauges for your 94 or OBD2 7.3 truck, so 94 through 03. It's designed to actually work in conjunction with your TS Performance chip. So what this is going to do is not only is it standalone gauges, but it actually hooks into your TS chip and you can use it to change between the power levels on the TS chip. So really neat product. We've really been looking forward to having it. Today we're going to do an install video on it. So first thing that you want to do, we're going to link you to our installation video for a TS chip in this video. We're not going to show you how to take a chip out of the truck and all of the rights and wrongs of taking a chip out, but what we're going to do is we're actually just going to install the Informant because most of you have the chip already. You're just adding the Informant to it. So we're going to link you to the chip installation in this video. First thing we're going to do to get started, as always, is we're going to be removing our positive and negative battery cables. Now that we have our batteries unhooked, we're going to go ahead and start running our wiring. For the Informant, your wiring is pretty basic. Most everything is going to be inside the cab, but we are going to have one wire coming outside underneath of the hood, and it is going to be to hook anything expandable up to our Informant. Now, with this Informant video, what we're also going to have is we're actually going to also install a EGT probe in a separate video. We're going to do this video here. We're going to show you how to install an Informant. If you decide to buy an EGT probe later, we're going to cover that in the next video. But you do have to have the expandable portion of the Informant outside of the hood, or outside of the cab, I'm sorry. So I want to show you, if you're doing this installation, you're going to notice obviously on Fords, they don't have a whole lot of access between the cab and inside the cab and outside the cab. If you have an automatic truck, there will be a plastic plate, and I'm going to shine this light on it right here for you. There will be a plastic plate where the clutch master cylinder should be. We're actually going to drill a hole in that plate, and we're going to run our wires to the outside of the cab. So we're going to do that really quick. Now, if you've got a standard shift truck, obviously you can't use it here. There'll be a plastic plate on the other side where the linkage is for the automatic. That's where you'll use it if you have a standard shift. But for here, we're going to use this plate. We're going to drill a hole in here so we can have so we can run our cords out here underneath of the hood. Okay, the two cords that we're going to assemble that are going to stay out here underneath of the hood is the actual the cord for the TS chip. And this is actually our expandable part of this. We will hook into one side of this and we'll still have a port open. This is where we're going to hook up our EGT probe in a later video. But this is for, and you'll recognize this connector is for the TS chip. So before we run them into the cab, you have another cord here that actually goes to your Informant head unit. You will see it, there's only 3 cords, but it's the cord that actually mates up with this. There's 2 guide pins on here. Line those up with the female receptacles in the block, and you'll actually want to turn this locking tab to where it unlocks everything. Now, once you have everything engaged, it'll lock down. And I'll actually zip tie that up out here, and I'll show you that here in just a second. So the 2 ends of this cord are actually going to have to go inside of the cab now. So what we're going to do is we're going to run our chip side in first, giving ourselves the most slack. All right. And then our cord for the Informant unit itself will go through the hole right beside of it. Now, if you haven't seen these before, Daystar makes a little firewall boot. They're on our website. We use these quite a bit. That's hard plastic there, so I'm going to put one of the Daystar grommets in there. You won't be able to see that, but I wanted to run that through. But I wanted to show you these Daystar grommets. This is a nice little firewall tool from Daystar. I suggest picking one up. It's got different sizes on it, so if you ever cut a hole in a different hole in a firewall, do something that's a lot larger, it can accommodate that, or it can do up to a very small one. Now we have our cord inside the cab. So the cord that will go to our informant head unit, and the cord that is actually the gray cord that is actually going to control our switch. All right, so what we've done is we've removed our switch. Again, we're going to link you to that video inside of this video. So here is our TS chip. So what we're going to do now, obviously we've unhooked our TS chip. The switch wire, the old switch wire, we're going to leave that inside the cab here. And the reason why we're going to do that is in case something goes wrong with the informant head unit, or have any problems, we can still regain control of the chip by just simply hooking the switch back up. The switch is already permanently mounted, so what we're going to do is we're just going to zip tie that up out of our way. That's going to be the best way to attack that for you guys. Now we want to go ahead and hook our chip up, and we're going to reinstall it. So again, just remove the old switch from your TS chip, and remember, as we talked about in our previous video on how to install a TS chip, the most important thing that you can do is do not take your chip off the computer without first unhooking your positive and negative battery cables off both of your batteries. I know a lot of you guys have cut your box, so you're going to have easy access to the chip, and I'll be honest with you, we're not showing you the box on this truck because this box was cut before we ever installed the TS chip. So it's a you know, as we talked about in the video, it's the wrong way to do it. You can cross contacts on this, but we've actually secured this box now to where when the chip is on the box, it actually can't walk. We've got it to where the chip can't move. So back to the installation here. TS chip, we're gonna go ahead and hook it up just like you would your regular switch. This is the exact same style of connector. You have your catches on top of the connector. The connector from the informant connector actually has the catch for that, so you want to make sure that you engage both of those. So that's got our chip taken care of. What we're going to do now, we're going to go ahead and put the chip back on the computer with both of our negative and our positive battery cables off both batteries. We're going to do that, then we're going to finish up the rest of our wiring. We've got our control wire pushed through our dash now. We just brought it up. We're just going to kind of bring it up and get it to where it can go straight to the informant unit. So we brought that wire up. Now our third wire is going to be our OBD2 wire. Our OBD2 wire is going to have to come back up through too. So go ahead and unwrap it from your kit. Your OBD2 obviously hooks right into your OBD2 port, so it has to go up just the same way that the control wire did. There's no magic way to do that on these. You can take the dash part if you want to, make it easier on you. If your luck is like mine, you go to pulling the dash part and you'll wind up breaking a push pin, and then you can't get the dash back together, then there you are. So OBD2 wire, gonna leave it down and we're gonna run it up and through just like we would anything else. So this is the part where we're going to shut the video off because this is a family station here at Thoroughbred Diesel. This is the part where I'm probably going to start cursing just a little bit. So we're going to just push this wire up through the dash. We're going to fish it through with a few encouraging words for it, and we'll have it right here at the head unit. Inside your informant box, you'll receive a window mounting unit. It's got an alcohol prep pad in there. We're going to go ahead and mount our informant head unit in here. We're going to clean up the glass first with the alcohol prep pad. We're going to mount our informant. So it's getting close to go time. I know you guys are getting excited about getting this thing up and running. this is the time now when you really, before you actually hook up your informant, and we'll get to that, what you need to do is go ahead and update your informant. Now, it's no secret, you can look at this, you know this is an Insight. This is a CTS Insight from Edge. You know, you just like the Insight or anything else, any other Edge product, you really need to go to their website and update it. To update your informant, go to fusionupdate.com. Go onto the website, download the update tool. The fourth cord that you get in your kit is a flat USB to micro USB. This is the cord that you will need to hook your informant head unit up to your computer to be able to get your update. So once you have your update, then you're good to go ahead and start using the unit. More than likely, when you get the unit, there's probably not going to be an update for it. It's probably going to already have the latest and greatest version on it. But just in case something else comes out, you want to make sure you do that. So back to mounting our informant, we've got our window clean. We're going to go ahead and mount this where we think that it'll work for us. Push the tab up, and that'll concave the mount. Then we want to go ahead and hook both of our wires up to the back of the informant. The smaller wire goes on top. The larger wire obviously goes at the bottom. Excuse me. You want to push your larger wire in until it actually makes contact in there and clicks. Now I'll pull my wires down through there, see if I was right on my distance. I was. So I'll push that onto the mount. And this has got a little screw locking tab on the back of it to where we can tighten that down. Okay, that's going to probably be just about the best for this driver. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and pull our excess wire down back underneath of the dash and get everything zip tied out. Okay, one of our last steps in this is we're going to go ahead and hook our OBD2 up. We're going to go ahead and run our OBD2 over, hook it up on your OBS trucks. You're going to have to go a little ways across there, but it's still going to work. Now we're going to get all of our wiring together here and get it tidied up, get it zip tied up before we reconnect our batteries. Okay, next step is we're going to go ahead and reinstall our battery cables. We got our battery cables back on. Everything's done our install. Everything's cleaned up. So we're going to fire our informant up for the first time. So OBD2 power is hooked up. We're going to turn the key on, and the informant will come on and boot up. The TS logo on the front of it. First screen will come up and it'll give you all the legal mumbo jumbo. You tell it that you agree with all that, or if you don't agree with it, don't agree with it. Doesn't matter to me. However you want to do it. Going to tell you it's going to be displayed a couple more times. So it's going to come up first selection. It's going to be as your OEM selection menu. So it's going to ask you if it's domestic vehicle, import vehicle, or if you're powering through the EAS 12-volt power kit, which you are using. This is a obviously this is a domestic truck, so we're going to choose domestic. We're going to choose Ford. Make sure the key is in the run position. You have selected Ford. Is this correct? Yes, this is correct. Hooking up to the Ford world here. Opening up another bunch of jargon. You have Fusion installed on your PC. Might be easier to enter the VIN using Fusion. Would you like to enter your VIN using Fusion? No, I'm not going to do that. I'll enter it on the normal way. No. Alrighty. So now we've got to enter our VIN. And up and down to change to the VINs if you want numbers, up, down for letters. So, and then enter to the next digit. So now we're going to do our VIN entry. This will take just a second. So now we've got our VIN entered. Hit enter. Device may now reboot. Touchscreen to continue. Boys, we're getting there now. Stuff's fixing to start happening. Disclaimer for one more time. We go domestic again. Ford again. Yes. Trying to talk to the Ford again. Is this the correct VIN? Yes, it is. Is this vehicle equipped with a manual transmission? No, it is not. Reading file IDs. Loading up our gauges. Perfect. So we're up and running. What we're going to do now is we're going to start the truck, make sure the truck starts and runs, and we're going to check, make sure our power levels work on our chip first off. So our RPMs are reading, battery voltage is reading. Quickest way to check to see if the chip's working is to get it to high idle. So to change power levels, you want to use your up and down arrows right here. So we're going to go to power level 5. I felt a change. 4, 3, power level 2. That's our high idle. So our high idle is working. That means the chip is working. The chip is responding. All right, turn the high idle off. Works flawlessly. So with 7.3, you know how we set up our gauges. Probably the first thing that everybody's going to be wondering is, can we pick up high pressure oil, HPOP pressure? So let's see if we can do that. We'll just pick one of these gauges. There's engine oil temperature, mile per hour. Let's do this one. So touch the gauge to change gauge, select a new PID. Let's see, we got engine oil temperature, engine load, back pressure, G-forces calculated, ICP, injection control pressure. Perfect. Enter. Enter to exit the menu. Perfect. ICP down there at the bottom. You can monitor your ICP pressure all the time. This is going to be an awesome tool for you 7.3 guys. You're going to know which one of your tunes inside of your chip are making good ICP pressure, if it's falling off, if it's not good. You know, most of you are familiar with how this works, main menu to get out of it. If you want to read and clear the diagnostic codes on the truck, you can simply go to diagnostics. You can go to trouble codes, read DTCs. We'll see if we got any trouble codes in here. It's got 2, a P0100 and P0603. To find out what the code is, touch code and it'll come right up and tell you. All right, keep alive memory error. That's from having the battery cables off, and OBD2 readiness monitor. That's from battery cables too. So go back a screen, you hit menu, clear the DTCs. We'll clear those. There, so showed you how to change the gauges. Showed you how to change the power level on your chip. So now, nothing left to do but take it out and drive it. You're really going to like this. This is a perfect complement to the chip. If you've already got a TS 6-position chip, get yourself an Informant. Trust me, you're going to thank yourself that you did. One thing to tell you about the Informant, if you actually are running if you're actually running hard gauges, this is a nice gauge to have. You know, if you've already got hard gauges, you don't want to monitor boost and pyro because you've got that. Still picking up injector control pressure, ICP pressure, oil temperature is always good to have. You know, and if you want to do expandable, if you want to pick up lift pump pressure, you can do that with this unit. When you purchase the Edge products, the expandable units, the expandable sensors, the world's going to be your oyster here. So this is our installation of our TS Informant. Our next video is going to be installation of the pyrometer probe, the edge pyrometer probe, and coupled with this, we will get that up and running. That's going to be our next video. So the 3 videos together, our chip installation, our TS Informant, and next time is going to be our pyro installation. We'll complete this series. So if you have a question on this installation or anything else, just give us a call. Thank you.